So I open my Twitter account this morning and I see information regarding WWE's financials and quarterly breakdown for the first quarter of 2019. I didn't want to go into all of the financials of it because I don't really give a shit. And more times than I really should be explaining to everybody on here, that is none of our business. I'm not here to talk about quarterlies and how much WWE was up and how much WWE was down and how much money they made last year. This is the argument that people bring forth to people like me and you about their WWE defense. This is their line of defense when people are shitting on the product. Those people don't understand why people like you and I shit on the product. People like that don't understand why on a weekly basis we critically shit on the product. Their defense is, oh, well, WWE is making the most money that they have in the history of the company. Whose business is that really? Only Vince McMahon's. Are you getting some sort of commission based on your financials and WWE's revenue? Like, I don't understand that. I really don't understand people's logic. If the fucking show sucks, then the show sucks. If the show is somewhat decent, it's somewhat decent. I don't think I've strayed from my overall formula here on Off the Script. Now, I tweeted something out this afternoon, which was the only piece of information that I legitimately cared about. And I'm going to put it on the screen right now for you guys. It is the decline of Monday Night Raw and Smackdown Live. I want you to look at this very closely and see the decline of Raw and Smackdown individually. Now, I'm going to pull it up because I'm going to put it in the video that you're watching right now, post-edit. I'm going to pull it up for myself, and I want you guys to see exactly what I'm talking about here. This is the average U.S. primetime cable TV ratings for WWE. In the red, it's Raw. Blue is SmackDown. The yellow is USA Network, and the green is the top 25 cable networks right now on television. Look at Monday Night Raw in quarter one of 2018. We got a 14% decline in Monday Night Raw from last year, this time last year, till now, present day. SmackDown is a little bit better, and that's not saying much at all. You got quarter one at 2.04, and then this year, 1.77. 13% decline for SmackDown Live. Now, I ask you why. I ask you where all those people are going and why they're not watching the product anymore. Why is there such a steep decline in Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live, which on most weeks is a little bit more bearable than Monday Night Raw? Not by much, but it's much better than what we get on Monday night. Monday Night Raw suffered one of the lowest viewed rated shows in company history on Monday. This is following a superstar shakeup in which they promised fresh matchups, new opponents, a new direction, all the other bullshit that WWE usually spews out and really doesn't live up to. Look at this. Hour 1, 2.6, 2.22 in Hour 2, and 2.1 in Hour 3. Look at that decline from Hour 1 to Hour 3. That is the fourth lowest, I believe, in the history of Monday Night Raw. Such a huge discrepancy from Hour 1 to Hour 3. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And then the funny thing is, this is what made me LOL All day, I'm LOLing all over the place. I'm in the supermarket buying fucking groceries, I'm LOLing. I'm fucking taking a shit sitting on the toilet bowl, I'm LOLing. I'm fucking taking a nap this afternoon, I'm LOLing in my fucking dreams. At what Vince McMahon said in the conference call with investors and stockholders and giving the reason why there's such a decline in WWE overall analytics for the first quarter of 2019. He said, and I quote, he blames it on absentee talent. There were injuries. I said in my official tweet on this situation, and I quote, this is from my Twitter. You guys can follow me at JD from NY206 on Twitter. So Vince McMahon cites talent absences for the decline we've seen in WWE. Really now? You mean the recycling of matches every week with no direction making us sick to our stomachs? Baron Corbin feuding with Kurt Angle and no effort at all in creative is not the reason? Folks, 2018 was one of the worst creative years. I've been watching this product. I don't give a fucking listen. You WWE apologists, you need to shut the fuck up. Every single one of you that has a platform needs to start opening up and telling the truth. Enough bottling this inside. Enough keeping all of this ill will and this negativity on the inside. All we see is this positivity on the exterior. Open it up. Open the fucking curtains. And let the fucking dark souls come out of your soul, man. Come on. Come on. We need to see it. We need to hear it from everybody. Enough of this bullshit. Enough of these fucking cretins on social media. Oh, WWE's making the most money that they're making ever. You're going to continue watching anyway. Yeah, I am. You want to know why, cretin? Because this is my job. This is my job. Everybody else, they have, or at least people that I know, they have gone away from the product. They do not watch anymore. Enough giving WWE a bye and a pass. Enough putting the Band-Aid over the proverbial gunshot wound that is WWE. Enough. 2017 was bad too. 2018 was one of the worst creative years I have ever seen in the history of WWE. I am 37 years old. I've been watching WWE since I was 4 years old. This, as far as I could fucking remember, is the worst year, 2018, the worst year I have ever seen creativity-wise in WWE history. All through my childhood, I have not seen anything as bad, and that is including a 1995 year in which WWE was absolutely fucking horrendous. It was that bad. That bad. Why was it that bad? Why is WWE having declining ratings? It's not talent absences. Do you want to know why WWE has a 14% decline from last year to this year for Monday Night Raw? I could tell you why. You could go back to last summer. Coming out of WrestleMania. Roman Reigns, and making Roman Reigns your top dog in the company, giving him shot after shot after shot, eventually slaying the beast at SummerSlam. That did the company no good. Roman Reigns is not the answer, and I'll get back to that in a second. That shit drove people away in fucking hordes. I swear to God, if you think that was going to do anything to bolster the fucking ratings and get people to watch, you are absolutely out of your mind psychotic. That did nothing but damage the fucking product. That did nothing for me. And when WWE takes something like that and forces it down your throat when you don't want to swallow what they're giving you, that is going to drive people away. Do I even need to go over the fact that the women's division, before Becky Lynch even got going with that supposed heel turn? Should I even go over the fucking fact that the women's division was god-awful? You had Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss going up against Ronda Rousey time and time and time again. On top of that, everybody that wasn't included in the Ronda Rousey situation, like a Sasha Banks and a Bayley, you did every single week, and I am not kidding you. 52 weeks of Bayley and Sasha and a random woman. It could be Mickie James, it could be Alicia Fox, it could be Natalya, it could be your fucking sister, it could be the old lady in the fourth row. It could be NXT Grandma. It didn't matter. They did the same match 52 weeks in a row against the Riot Squad. How long before people tune out when they're given constant rinse and repeat the same shit over and over and over again? And then we get on into the summer. Brock Lesnar is slayed. Roman Reigns is your champion. Ratings didn't go up. Nobody was tuning into Monday Night Raw to watch Roman Reigns as the conquering hero and the Universal Champion on Monday Night Raw. Nobody gave a shit. Nobody gave a shit. Then he goes out with leukemia. Gone come October. You got September, you got October, and then he's gone. Right before Crown Jewel. WWE was getting the Shield back together because they wanted to build a proverbial shield around Roman Reigns. And what happened with all those matches that we got with Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins? They were against Drew McIntyre and Baron Corbin and Bobby Lashley. Before that, it was Braun Strowman and Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. Week after week after week. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. On top of that, Braun Strowman was Mr. Money in the Bank. He failed a cash-in inside a fucking Hell in a Cell with Brock Lesnar destroying the goddamn fucking door. Need I say more about that embarrassment? Then you get on into Crown Jewel. Roman Reigns is out with leukemia. He's gone. He's gone. So when Roman Reigns went out with leukemia, did the ratings seemingly go up? No. So I'm not going to pin this all on Roman Reigns, and I'll get back to that in a second. I'm not pinning all of this on Roman Reigns whatsoever. But I'm telling you, with Roman Reigns as champion, nothing happened. When he went away, nothing happened. So what's the reason? What's the reason? I can only think of one thing, and that is rinse and repeat fucking garbage creative. Then we get into Crown Jewel. How many people did WWE turn away with Crown Jewel? How many people wanted that event, protested and canceled and halted? And I'm assuming that drove people away. That angered people enough to the point where they weren't going to watch the product. WWE goes in to Survivor Series. They got a big Survivor Series event coming up. They got Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey. That's no more. Charlotte takes her spot. Becky is on the rise as the hottest thing in the company. You really can't cling on to one thing and put all your hope and faith and prayer into Becky Lynch. It wasn't really going to do anything as far as ratings go. WWE could never carry both of these shows with just Becky Lynch alone. The women's division did get a boost. Becky and Charlotte and Asuka, who was coming along at that time, who was ultimately killed off. Ronda Rousey, they were carrying any interest that this company had. Any interest at all. So there was one positive out of all this, and that was what those four women were doing on television. But what else was going on? The constant rinse and repeat. The Corbins and the McIntyres and the Lashleys against Rollins and Ambrose. It was enough to make you fucking go crazy. Enough to make you fucking jump out of a window. These shows were absolutely miserable to sit through for 3 hours every single week. Every single week. Then we get into Survivor Series. What happened there? What happened there? WWE, I don't know if you remember or care to remember anyway, WWE had Monday Night Raw beat Smackdown 6-0 at the Survivor Series. Now, it should have really been 1 because the New Day actually, were going on social media and went on SmackDown Live even to cite that the Usos were the only winning SmackDown Live team against the Revival in that big Survivor Series tag team match on the pre-show. But WWE didn't count the pre-show because it wasn't on the main card of the show, which in its own right is fucking pathetic, and in its own right really signaled that the pre-show means absolutely nothing and that they are not a part of the actual event. All you need to go back is, as far as November and cite that. So if they continue to say that the pre-show is part of the main show, no, it's not. You could look at the Survivor Series because whatever Vince McMahon seen on that night clearly didn't happen. So they go into Survivor Series having Monday Night Raw come out 6-0, and there's absolutely no follow-up on SmackDown Live from Paige, from Shane McMahon. It was as if, well, we'll get them next year. Nobody was angry, nobody was disappointed, nobody was upset in any which way. Raw beat us 6-0, we're just going to forget like it ever happened and move on going into TLC. And then you want people to sit down and endure this shit for 5 hours every week between Monday and Tuesday night. How are we supposed to sit there and make sense of anything if you put no fucking effort into anything? Then we get on into TLC, which wasn't that bad. We got Charlotte, we got Becky, we got Asuka. Main eventing that show for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Asuka wins the TLC match. She's the Women's Champion. Not that bad of a show. We got on into the Royal Rumble and then the Elimination Chamber and on into WrestleMania season where WWE should be firing on all cylinders. And they did absolutely nothing to generate your interest. They built WrestleMania in about 3 weeks with absolutely no effort whatsoever. It was such a discombobulated mess. All of these matches outside the women's match and a Kofi Kingston situation that was literally presented in WWE's lap in the last 4 weeks during the last couple of weeks of WrestleMania build. That was it. That was it. Literally everything else was pieced together with fucking Scotch tape and Elmer's glue. And then you want me to care about WWE programming, and then WWE wants to cite talent absences as the reason for the decline. Then you got Monday Night Raw and the shakeup. Monday Night Raw and the shakeup. Last year's shakeup drew a big number. This year, they were down 26% in the ratings. Where did the fucking people go? Where did the people go? Oh, I remember. You came out in December and you promised fresh matchups and a new change. And you promised, via the McMahon's mouth, bullshit. You promised that the fans watching the show were going to be the ones in charge. You have all the power on Monday and Tuesday night. Do we really? Do we really? What did WWE do the last couple of weeks? Why are the ratings down? Why were the ratings down from hour 1 to hour 3? When Baron Corbin steals a fucking victory and we gotta watch him wrestle one time and then find out that he's wrestling in the fucking main event. No reason why you are citing any other excuse outside of the creative for why these shows are failing. We don't want to see Baron Corbin wrestle on one night. On 2 nights, I don't blame people for going away and not watching the show. So what's the reason? And Roman Reigns is back, by the way. I said I was going to cycle back to that. Roman Reigns is back. Roman Reigns is back on television. Do you see a ratings increase? All the Shield bullshit, all the Shield propaganda that you pushed when he was on Raw with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, and him coming back and going over his leukemia and how we shouldn't boo him, right? He's an inspiration to everybody. He comes back. They popped a big rating for him when he came back. What happened when he was on TV regularly? Nothing. Straight decline in Monday Night Raw rating. So is Roman Reigns the big guy, the big dog that you're going to put all your hopes and prayers into for a ratings increase? Is he the one that's going to carry the company? No, he's not. So this is a lesson learned for WWE. Will they abide by this? Of course not. They're going to continue to shove them down our throats because they think, in their warped fucking mentality, that this guy's going to transcend ratings and get people to watch the show again. That's why they moved him over to Monday Night Raw. Or from Monday Night Raw to SmackDown Live. It ain't going to work. It ain't going to fucking work. Why are the ratings down? Baron Corbin in the main event. Rinse and repeat all through 2018. Nothing is new. Nothing is fresh. The show is just so fucking boring and formulaic. When you have AJ Styles moved over from SmackDown to Raw, and you have Styles wrestle 2 nights, or 2 times on one night, and you can't pop a rating? When you got AJ Styles in the main event and the crowd looks like it's in a fucking coma? What's the reason? What is the reason for the decline? These shows are absolutely fucking miserable to get through. It is not that difficult to figure out. It's not because of talent absences. It's not because of this reason and that reason. It's like me working at the jewelry shop. It's like me working at the jewelry shop, you know, during a bad weather day. Why were the sales down today? Oh, it's bad weather. It was too rainy out. The weather was miserable. Nobody was in the mall today. Nobody wanted to leave the house. That's an excuse. That's an excuse. When I worked at the jewelry store, I kept a book, or we were supposed to anyway, a record of all of our customers. You bring people into the store. Hey, man, you're up for a jewelry cleaning today. Oh, hey, man, you're up for a watch repair today. Your warranty's about to run out. Come on in. Come on in. Your battery's about up. I'll charge you $20 for a battery. They're normally $50. Come on in. Generate some fucking sales. You know? You remember the couple last week that came in to look at an engagement ring. Make them an offer today. Make them a sale. Bring up something that they didn't come in hearing about or seeing last week. Come on in. We got an extra 12 months of financing. Come on in. It's your fucking job to bring them in. You're not going to cite the fucking weather as an excuse. Oh, it's too bad of a day outside as far as weather goes. It's a rainy day. Are you fucking kidding me? You're going to tell that to the general manager or the fucking district manager. They'll look at you like you got 6 fucking heads. Are you fucking kidding me? What's the reason? Talent absences. Who the fuck was absent? Who was absent? It's like this company has full-blown fucking dementia company-wide. You don't remember what you did last year? You gotta be out of your fucking mind mental if you don't know what you did in 2018. All you have to do is look back, gather all the scripts you had for Monday Night Raw, look at the same fucking script 52 weeks in a row, and tell me that's not the reason why people are leaving this fucking garbage program week by week. The creative writing fucking blows. It sucks. Championships mean nothing. You're killing off all the fucking talent that we actually want to see. There's nobody there legitimately that you're portraying to me that's a major fucking star. You call talent up from NXT, they're dead within 3 weeks. Constant changes to this and that. War Raiders are now the Viking Experience. The Viking Experience is now the fucking Viking Raiders. Viking Raiders are now the Viking Warriors. What the fuck is going on? Then you want to know why people don't watch. You're a fucking joke. You're an absolute fucking joke. Too many cooks in the kitchen. On top, the head chef is a 74-year-old demented fuck. In which he comes off not needing any fucking chefs. He wants to cook for fucking 200 people. In this case, 3 million. And those customers, man, they're leaving that fucking restaurant to go to the fucking one down in Jacksonville, Florida. They're a lot cheaper down there, a lot more friendlier, and they got a fucking functioning brain. They're giving you what you want. Don't listen to this bullshit. These apologists, these fucking people that say, well, if you don't like it, don't watch. Really? A lot of people aren't watching. Clearly. They need to do better. And I just documented just a little bit of what was going on and why people might not be watching. I don't know what business is looking at your first quarter last year and then your first quarter this year with a 14% decline, and then you're going to go to your fucking stockholders and say, oh yeah, it was talent absences. Yeah, we'll do better. We got major creative changes coming up in the fall. Why didn't that happen now? Let me see you present Fox Sports with anything less than a 3 rating. They'll boot you quicker than I could fucking breathe. You'll be off Friday night. You'll be on Thursday, then on Tuesday, then you'll be fucking canceled. FS1. Give me a break. Give me a fucking break. Get with the program. Use your heads. Enough of these apologists, enough of these cretins on social media that feel like they have to defend WWE for whatever reason, as if they're getting some fucking commission by pushing the initiative or the agenda to the masses on social media. Oh, they're making all this money. Who gives a shit? It's none of your business. Your main concern should be the quality of the show, like me and everybody watching me. This show is absolutely fucking terrible. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Look at all the new faces on Monday Night Raw. You think they're going to present the show in a different light? It's going to be the same shit with rinse and repeat written all over it. Week after week after week after week. You don't listen to the fans. WWE needs to get out of this bubble and stop thinking that they're the only game in town and their ideas are the only ones that are going to work. The ideas of a fucking 74-year-old man are not the end-all, be-all. That man is out of touch with every single one of us watching. You're not keeping the interest of anybody. The WWE Network's got 1.5, 1.6 million. Those are the people that are watching the show on a weekly basis. Those are the diehards. They're the hardcores. They're watching the show. What about the other 1 million people? Where the fuck are they going? Where are they? What are you doing as far as quality of television to get those people back? I don't understand the mentality. I really don't. And I say this time and time and time again. If you book the show like it is in NXT, and I mean this with every fiber of my fucking being, if you book the show like it is like NXT, down in NXT at Full Sail University, if you take what they do there, and with 1 hour, they're the best thing on television. You take what they do and that mentality, that attitude, that creative writing, that booking, the way you care for characters down there and you make them flourish. Wins and losses mean something. Continuation of what you see 1 week and, 3, 4, 5 weeks go on and you're still continuing where you left off in week 1. If you take what you do in NXT and apply it to Raw and SmackDown with that mentality, I guarantee you people will come and people will watch. People will invest their time in the product because what you're doing right now, you're showing them that you don't care. And if you show them that you don't care, they're not going to care and they're not going to watch. Why do we remain constant on NXT every single week? Look at NXT's numbers. I guarantee you're not going to see a drop-off of NXT, barely, with the audience. It's because you keep them invested. You keep them coming back for more. How many times can people watch something 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 12 weeks in a row, and have them care at the end of the fucking day? How many matches can you put on the same thing over and over and over again at these pay-per-views? You take what they do in NXT and you apply it to the main roster. I guarantee you'll be making more and the ratings will see an increase. But Vince McMahon is the reason why this company is going downward spiral. There's no other reason. Talent absence. The only thing that needs to be absent from this company is fucking Vince McMahon's touch and Vince McMahon's voice and everything regarding Vince McMahon. The reason why the ratings are going down is because Vince McMahon doesn't know what the fuck he's doing anymore. Vince needs to go. Vince needs to go. You want this fucking product and this show, Raw and SmackDown, to thrive? You get Vince McMahon out of there, you put Triple H in charge, and you book this shit like he does in NXT. I fucking guarantee you that with what Triple H does down at NXT, the care that he shows everything, if he was in charge and he handled the main roster as he does NXT, I guarantee you will see an increase. You will see a fucking different feel. I promise you. Promise you. But if they continue doing what they're doing now, as I fear what they're going to be doing the rest of the spring and the summer, this is going to be a summer in which we are going to be praying ends quicker than ever before. I don't know what else to tell you. I really don't. There's nobody on this show we genuinely care about that we want to see in a week by week by week basis. We're done. We're done. How many times could we see Baron Corbin in the main event? before we get sick and tired of it. It's been happening since October. I mention this every week. I mention this every week on Monday Night Raw. This is not what we want. 14% decrease from last year. 13% decrease for SmackDown Live since last year. The creative sucks. It's not talent absences. You're pushing the wrong fucking people. You're doing the wrong shit as far as creativity goes. You made a mockery of the women's division outside Ronda Rousey earlier in the summer. Week by week, you guys know the deal. The only time that I had any interest in this product was when Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair and Asuka and Ronda Rousey were doing their thing towards the tail end of last year. And they even managed to fuck that up going into WrestleMania. And now here we sit on the same fucking boat all over again with some of the worst ratings that the company has ever seen for a non-NFL Monday Night Raw. No excuse. No excuse. If they're not going to get better based off that chart, nothing will make them get better. They don't care. They're going to continue making their money, and they're going to continue saying, well, people are going to watch anyway. We can do whatever we want. Yeah, continue doing what you want. Come May and June and July and all the way into August, September, and October. When AEW, you're basically giving people reason to go tune into AEW as a true alternative. Come October, when AEW debuts on TNT, and you wonder where all your people are, that's when you'll get better. That's when you'll get better, because at that point you'll be like, oh shit, now we really gotta set the stage and do what we need to do. You should have been doing what you needed to do all this time for us. For us. Bullshit. This is Off the Script, episode 271. We're going to talk Bray Wyatt. We're going to talk a lot of Bray Wyatt today. And I got more news on Monday Night Raw coming out of Monday Night Raw this week, man. This is episode 271, part 1 of Off the Script. Get ready. It's going to be a big one. Don't go anywhere. We'll hit the intro, and I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Delete! This is mine.
Alive with it. People still Man, before we get into the heart of this podcast, this t-shirt company that I keep hearing about, man, All Elite Wrestling, this glorified t-shirt company that I keep hearing about, you know? It must be something in the fabric. I don't know what it could be. Maybe it's some magical fabric that they're using. Apparently, 5.4 million people on Azteca TV for the AAA title match, tag team title match, between the Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros. Largest rating ever on Azteca TV. That is more than double what it is on Monday nights. I guess they must be doing something right. 5.4 million people are interested in what 4 smart marks are doing. Matt, Nick, Pentagon, Phoenix, right? I don't know, man. Again, it must be something in the fabric. What happens when they do the same thing at Double or Nothing? How many people did they get to go watch Double or Nothing just based off what these guys did? How great is that match going to be in Las Vegas? What about the ratings on TNT this fall? They must be doing something right, man. 2 of the smart markiest teams out there. The Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks. Right? Where are all you detractors now? I can't wait, man. I can't wait. But continue. This t-shirt company must be doing something right, bro. They must be doing something right. Speaking of tag teams, I got to get it out here. And I'm happy to announce, I'm glad I could finally let the cat out of the bag, per se. You guys know I do my work with House of Glory. I love all of my House of Glory family. I love what we do as far as grooming talent. There's just so much talent in House of Glory. From the Gangones, to the Leroy Greens, to the Ken Broadways, to the Matt Travises, to the Evander James. We got Private Party. Private Party, Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy, homegrown House of Glory guys, this week have formally announced that the Young Bucks have personally seeked them out and have offered them contracts to All Elite Wrestling. How great is that, man? That House of Glory is being looked at by All Elite Wrestling. Two of the most talented, athletic guys you will find in that ring. A match that people have been clamoring to see between Private Party and the Young Bucks could eventually happen now. They are going to be at Double or Nothing. They're going to be at StarCast. So I might see them there if I am indeed going. I'll let you guys know about that in the coming weeks. But how great is that, man? Just to know that they are paying attention to what we are doing. I love it. So my congratulations goes out to Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy. They are going to kill it. And when you guys see them kill it, I want you to know where they came from. House of fucking Glory. So congratulations to those two guys, man. Shout out to Andrew Zarian of the Mat Men podcast. I met Andrew back a couple of years ago. We did something as far as commentary goes, man. I was with him down in Long Island somewhere. I don't know where. I forgot the name of the venue. But it was for New Level Entertainment. And they had a wrestling show out there. Matt McIntosh was on the show. John Silver, I believe his name was. I don't remember. There was a bunch of guys on that show. And it was on iPay-per-view. It was streamed. And I was just getting my feet wet in the commentary deal. And they paired me with him. It was the first time I met him. Really chill, down-to-earth guy. I was supposed to actually not do the show. Matthew Ryan Shapiro, my partner at House of Glory, was supposed to do the show. And he couldn't make it for whatever reason. And they asked me to do it. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Because at that time, you know, I was just getting my feet wet in the commentary thing. And I wanted more practice. And I'm like, this will be a great opportunity. Now, Long Island ain't, you know, hop, skip, and a jump away for me. It's quite the distance from the Bronx. But the fact that I was asked to do it and I did it. And I had a blast doing it. And Andrew was there. You know, he was a really great partner that night. I remember us just having so much fun. Andrew Zarian, he's on the Mat Men podcast. He actually called me up this past week, and we did a almost 40-minute interview. And he's doing this series about, you know, YouTube content creators and people in the industry and in the wrestling business on how they got started. He wants to know their backstory and, you know, how they got into the wrestling business, how you became a fan. It was just a great personal one-on-one interview with just two guys talking the shit, you know, talking about their love for professional wrestling. So I want you guys to go check out this interview, man, that he posted on their YouTube channel. You could go subscribe, go listen to it, go leave a comment, a thumbs up. I would really, really appreciate it, man. And I want to thank Andrew, if he's listening, for the opportunity to sit with him and just have a blast doing that podcast. I look forward to working with him in the future again. And it was great, man. So thank you guys so very much for going to check that out. Mat Men Podcast. I'll leave you guys a link down in the description of this very video. Please go and check that out. Finally, I got all these things I got to go over. Two things as far as the musical portion of the show. You know Tony, the master behind the guitar for My Brother Legionary, he's actually got a new band. I'll leave the video for you guys at the end of the video. They did a music video. It's fucking great. It's actually filmed by Tony's brother, and it's his Chaos Sanctuary band. It's technical death metal. It's not going to be for the, you know, the weak of heart. That's all I'll say. But my brother's drumming in the video. Tony's shredding on guitar. Tony's brother actually shot this very well. It's an in-studio video. You get to see everybody doing their instruments. You get to see where they actually recorded it. The video was recorded in the engineer room, in the studio room. So it came out really good. Chaos Sanctuary, you guys will see that. I'll leave you a video at the end of this podcast. The whole 5-minute video for their new music video. Defy the Gods, I believe it is. So you guys will see that. As far as my brother goes, New Legionary is out. Finally, New Legionary is out. An 11-minute epic. And you guys are not going to believe what he did, man. He really outdid himself. Spiritual warfare. 11 minutes of just fucking Frank writing and blasting away on this thing. Unbelievable stuff. Mixed and recorded in the same room that you'll see the Chaos Sanctuary video at the end of this video. And I want you guys to go and support him, man. I'm not going to play the 11-minute song here. I'll probably play a clip of it and include it in the outro of the podcast so you guys can hear a little bit of it. But if you guys want to go and support Frank, again, please do so, man. It's one song. You're going to get the full vocal and instrumental version. You're going to get, I believe, the off-the-script theme included with that as well. I'm not really sure what he's including with that. And he's got all other stuff on there. You can purchase this one song, 11 minutes, man. Believe me, it's worth your money and it's worth your time. If you're into that type of thing, please go and support him. He's my brother. If you support me, I would expect the same from you guys for him. So I'm going to leave you a link down to the purchase of his song, if you guys want, down in the description of this very video. So please go and do that, man. One of the most talented men that I know, my brother Frank, Legionary. Go check that shit out, and I'll leave you guys a link down below. This is Off the Script, episode 271, part number 1. It is Friday. What is the date? I can't. My phone, man, iPhones. I gotta get an iPhone. It's too fucking slow. I know I gotta upgrade because I know my phone's fucking up. They're asking me for an upgrade. April 26th, 2019. Thank you guys so very much for hanging out with me today. We're gonna go over a bunch of shit. Monday Night Raw, we talked about the War Raiders might have had a name change again. How Vince McMahon sees Braun Strowman in WWE. Why Ricochet lost this week. And chaos backstage during Monday Night Raw. And then again, they want to know why the ratings are suffering. If there's chaos backstage, we see that bleed onto the actual live show. Just letting you know right now. Plus, everything you need, I mean everything you need about Bray Wyatt in the WWE. And my thoughts on what is going on with the new and improved Bray Wyatt on Monday Night Raw. If you guys want to follow me on social media, man, please do so. JD from NY206. That is on Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. We are dangerously close to 109,000 subscribers. I'd love to get to 110 before I actually possibly go out to Las Vegas for Double or Nothing. I might go out there as far as media goes, and I might be bringing some guests with me, man. So it should be fun. So I'll let you guys know about that. Possible meet and greet in Vegas. I will keep you guys updated. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell if you guys want to support via the Patreon page. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Completely optional. It's up to you guys. Only way to get exclusive content not available on YouTube and this podcast early on Patreon, man. Thank you guys so very much. The milestone is still there. Sal Rex generously said 115. I don't think that's going to happen before Double or Nothing weekend, so I'm making it 110, man. Let's get to 110,000 subscribers before Double or Nothing. Speaking of elite and being a part of my elite army, JD's Elite on bonfire.com. Thank you guys so very much for all of your support on bonfire.com. You guys are kicking ass as far as this campaign goes, and I really, really appreciate it. Bonfire is the official home of JD's Elite. The best-selling t-shirt, not only for Off the Script, but in the YWC. Thank you guys so very much. Shout out to Casey. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Ron, Justin, Desmond, and Keith Dennis. Thank you guys so very much for the last couple of days alone of your purchase right there of JD's Elite. Link will be down in the description of this very video. Go and get yours today and become a part of my JD's Elite army. And if I see you in Vegas, I definitely want to see you guys wearing that fine merchandise out for Double or Nothing. Make sure you guys go and check out everything that you need as far as content goes. If you missed anything, everything you need is on the channel. Linked in the annotation, that little I in the top right corner of your screen. We got Monday Night Raw. We go over Bray Wyatt's situation there. Bray Wyatt welcomes us into his neighborhood. We got Smackdown Live. Kevin Owens turning heel. Roman Reigns against the Authority again. Off the Script Extra has CM Punk finally returned. My thoughts on everything CM Punk showing up at a random indie event wearing a mask. We got NXT. Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era have a major bro problem in Matt Riddle. And if you guys missed any of that stuff, link will be in the annotation, like I said, in the top right corner of your screen. Drop it down, everything you need is right there, man, on the channel. I would appreciate all of your support. Harry's. Harry's is the official sponsor of Off the Script. Harry's.com/script. Now, why? Why Harry's? Why are Monday Night Raw ratings falling like a fucking stone? Why is that? Because they don't care. I'll tell you what, Harry's cares. 10 million people plus care. 10 million people plus have used Harry's by claiming their free trial offer by going to harrys.com/script. Harry's founders were tired of paying for razors that were overpriced, overdesigned. They knew a great shave didn't come from gimmicks like vibrating heads, flex balls, or handles that look like spaceships. These are tactics that the leading brands have used to raise prices for decades. They fixed all that by combining a simple, clean design with quality, durable blades at a fair price. Harry's actually bought a world-class blade factory in Germany that's been making quality blades for over 95 years. They've received over 20,000 five-star reviews on Trustpilot and Google alone. Harry's blades come with a 100% quality guarantee. If you don't love your shave, let them know, and they will issue you a full refund. Well, JD, what do I get if I go to harrys.com/script? $13 value is yours, and this is what you get. Razor handle. Choice of color is yours. Orange, the evergreen, or the navy blue. A 5-blade razor with a lubricating strip and a trimmer blade. Rich lathering shave gel. And a travel blade cover as well if you're a man on the go. If you're spending the night at your girl's house. If you're traveling for business. Or if you're a regular Joe like me, who likes it to look pretty anyway by just sitting on the bathroom sink. Man, it looks great in the cover alone. You get all that for free. harrys.com/script. Listeners of my show can redeem their trial set. Make sure you redeem your offer and let them know that I sent you to help support Off the Script. Once again, that's harrys.com/script. All right, man, I want to start off with this Ricochet story. We all love Ricochet. Oh, he's a gymnast. Oh, he does the flips and the dives. He's nothing but an indie mark. This is all I hear about Ricochet. I love Ricochet. I think it would be foolish if WWE doesn't push Ricochet to the moon. Guy's got WWE champion written all over. Possible Money in the Bank winner, to be honest with you. WWE really wants to make a splash for Money in the Bank. There you go. I don't think WWE is not going to put him in that match. They know what they got in him. He could really make that match the best ever. But as far as Ricochet goes, a lot of people were talking about him on Monday night. Oh, he lost. He lost in his first match against Bobby Roode as a singles guy. First night he was away from Aleister Black. Lost. People weren't understanding the situation here. Now, Ricochet has had, since February, of somewhat constant booking, successful booking, which was surprising because people, when they get brought up from NXT or demoted from NXT, they usually are buried within the first couple of weeks. But in this instance, Black and Ricochet have been treated pretty decently. Now, they shouldn't have been a tag team, and the only reason why they were a tag team because they were a tag team in the Dusty Classic who went to the finals against the War Raiders. You know, Hanson and Rowe. Ivar and Eric! Who? Shut the fuck up, man. You fucking goon. Hanson and Rowe. The War Raiders. After that, they shouldn't have been a team. Now, WWE split them up. Ricochet remained on Raw. Aleister Black moved to SmackDown Live. Why? Because Zelina Vega, who is married to Aleister Black, is part of the act with Andrade, Cien Almas. And Almas was requested by Charlotte, who's on SmackDown Live, to be on that brand because they are, quote-unquote, engaged. Zelina is engaged to, or married, I should say, Aleister Black, so they were not going to leave that married couple split. So they figured, let's move them all to SmackDown Live, leaving Ricochet all on his own on Monday Night Raw. Now, why did Ricochet lose on Monday Night Raw? Well, people love Ricochet. there was an outcry for his loss by the fans on social media. People love him. His co-workers love him. His co-workers love him so much that they turned out to help his family in a time of tragedy. His mother's house burned down. I put in the comment section of last weekend's Off the Script, help Ricochet. Let's gather together as a community and help Ricochet and his family. You know what the comment I got was? And I seen it continuously throughout the fucking weekend. Oh, but doesn't he have that WWE money? What do you think, this guy's making John Cena-like fucking money? He's still probably under an NXT contract, which could be anywhere between $75,000 and $150,000. What house is he paying for? I didn't ask you to fucking comment on the guy's pay raise or his financials. All I said was, if you can give 5, 10, 20 to help the fucking cause like everybody else, it would be great and a great way to come together as a community. And you guys, now I'm not saying all of you, certain ones have shown me that this community is utter garbage. Reason why I work alone. So, not only do people love Ricochet, in and out of the community, his co-workers love Ricochet. However, he lost on Monday Night Raw. I know that doesn't have anything to do with what I just mentioned, but he lost on Monday night. He could not be spared from Vince McMahon. Dave Meltzer reports that there was a directive from Vince McMahon to let Ricochet and Aleister Black get a strong push. Really? Am I hearing this right? There was a directive from Vince McMahon? Who abducted Vince McMahon, and where is the real Vince McMahon, please? But apparently he wanted Aleister Black and Ricochet to look strong. I'm guessing that order came from Triple H. Had to be. That had to be a fucking direct order pushed by Triple H. Old man, you listen to me. These are my guys. Can't be bringing them up here and burying them like Bobby Roode. They were ordered not to lose any matches. However, clearly that obviously changed when Vince McMahon broke them up and split them on Raw and SmackDown individually. So this was a direct order from Vince McMahon to have him lose on Monday Night Raw. It was the case with the script before all the chaos and after the script was rewritten. Ricochet was always supposed to lose to Bobby Roode on Monday Night Raw. Why did he lose? I'm going away from the report, and I'm going to give you the reason why he lost. It was a direct order from Vince McMahon. Vince wanted him to lose, he lost. But why did he lose? Bobby Roode needed a refresh just as badly as anybody else. You talk about the Baileys and the Sasha Banks and everybody else, the Tyler Breezes of the world, right? The Luke Harpers. We had someone here in Bobby Roode who was absolutely, glorious Bobby Roode. He was every sense of the word, glorious. And when he came up, he was in a feud with the United States Championship and Dolph Ziggler, and he didn't really do anything. It was just fucking ridiculous. They brought him up, and they ruined him right out of the gate. He was a fucking heel that could have been an ultra mega heel on the main roster. And they changed him into a babyface because of his theme music, because it was too over with the fans. I don't know on what planet this is a logical fucking cause to change Bobby Roode. I don't understand it. Who gives a shit about the fucking theme music? You see how good, or you see how much sense that makes now. Sami Zayn is right now on his way to being an ultimate fucking villain. Did they change his fucking theme music? He still got that fucking ska, dance-along, sing-along music coming out, shitting all over the fucking fans. So when you tell me that they needed to change him to a babyface because of his theme music, it's as if WWE, again, has some sort of fucking disease. They don't remember what they did back in the day, and when we expect them to do the same thing present day with a similar situation, they don't do it. So why did you do it then? Why was it right then and it's not right now? So I don't want to hear that bullshit. And then they paired him with Chad Gable. This team did not look like a tag team right out of the gate. They were forced together because the tag team division was fucking miserable. They had no tag teams on Monday Night Raw. So they paired them together. It was only within the last month and a half that they finally started looking like a tag team. Gable went out and got a robe. Gable got out there and was wearing the same outfit as Bobby Roode, they looked like a legit team. They didn't have a team name or anything. We were calling them the Glorious Ones, but they looked the part. They looked like a team. Then they shipped Chad Gable over to SmackDown Live. For whatever reason, I don't know. Apparently, he's got Marty Jannetty syndrome, and WWE doesn't give a shit about Chad Gable, and they don't know what they have in that guy. Fed to Lars Sullivan on SmackDown Live, while Bobby Roode broke away from this deal, and all he did was come back after the split, after the shakeup, with one little change to his appearance. And it was a fucking mustache. Yeah, it looked like Joey Ryan. Yeah, it looked like Silas Young. Yeah, he looked like an 80s porn star about to step on set with somebody. Fill in the blank with whomever porn star you guys enjoy watching. Jada Stevens, Skin Diamond. The list goes on and on. Any one of those guys. Doesn't matter. So he had this mustache. And it was really something that stood out. His fucking mustache was trending on social media. So you got Bobby Roode here, who's been absolutely demoralized against Ricochet, who has been built pretty strong. Now, what are you going to do? You're going to have Ricochet go out there and beat the new Bobby Roode, the new Robert Roode, with this mustache that's taking on a life of its own? Or you're going to have Bobby Roode win and renew his push as a top-level heel on Ricochet, who, if he loses, isn't really going to be that big of a deal. He'll be remembered as Ricochet. People are going to love him. They're not going to remember what happened last week, but I'm going to remember. I'm going to remember Bobby Roode got a glorious DDT on Ricochet and got a damn good win on Monday Night Raw. Big win for himself. And that's the only reason why Ricochet lost. You can't have Bobby Roode go out there as a new heel with this new appearance, this new push, and have him lose right out of the gate. Now, yes, it could have been anybody but Ricochet, but for some odd reason, they wanted to factor Ricochet into that. Hopefully, we don't get the fucking same match again next week, and Bobby Roode loses and we get 50-50 booking. Then they want to know why the ratings are down. I seen this match last week, and Bobby Roode losing in week 2 against the same guy he beat in week 1 really ain't going to do anything for the guy's renewed push. Bobby Roode goes on to another guy and beats him. In the same fashion he beat Ricochet. Ricochet moves on to somebody else. He develops a win streak of his own. That's the way things should be done. But the fact that Ricochet lost is not that big of a deal. And I said it last week, and I'm going to say it again. If WWE wants to get behind Robert Roode and really push him, not only does he have the look down, because, man, if you were born in the 80s like I am, the similarities between him and Ravishing Rick Rude are ridiculous. Now, he ain't going to be gyrating and calling women fat sweat hogs in the first row, but I want to see this guy win. And the guy's talented enough and good enough to be booked as a heel to actually main event Monday Night Raw. He did it in NXT, and he was absolutely fucking unbelievable in that role. He can do the same thing on Monday Night if they follow the same blueprint that they gave him back down in NXT. Believe me, Ricochet losing is not that big of a deal. Braun Strowman, speaking of losers, Braun Strowman, the biggest one on Monday Night Raw. Soon to be United States champion, I'm sure. How Vince McMahon sees Braun Strowman's spot in WWE. Well, Braun Strowman was on the verge of receiving a major push for the United States Championship. It's going to happen. It was halted just a little bit. But as far as pushes, the stop and start pushes of Braun Strowman were unreal in 2018. The guy went nowhere. Guy was the biggest thing in WWE on Raw. Could have beat Brock Lesnar for the Universal title. They didn't do it. WWE stopped and start. Then they put him against Roman Reigns, and they failed to cash in. This guy was all over the place, hot and cold. They didn't know what to do with him. Completely ruined this guy's aura. Completely ruined him and everything that was great and organic about Braun Strowman. He was in the main event picture, and now all I see is a main event loser. The guy is nothing more than a novelty act for WWE. Mike Johnson opened up on PW Insider Elite Audio how Vince McMahon sees Braun Strowman. There have been times when Strowman got a bit of backstage heat on himself that stifled his push to the top. Now, that was mentioned months ago. There's no etiquette backstage. He shows up late. He does what he wants to do. He's very disrespectful to some people. And for him to do that, thinking that he earned his spot and that he's who he thinks he is, he's bigger than he thinks he is, it's going to rub people the wrong way, especially management. So they hold your fate in their hands. And if you're going to act like that, they're going to bring you back down to earth. And WWE has not allowed Braun Strowman to ascend into outer space anymore. They had that rocket pack on him. Forget about it, man. That shit ran out. WWE pulled the fucking plug on that rocket pack. You're done, bro. You're done. So now McMahon, after all that they did, and stop, they see him nothing more than a utility monster, and he's a walking mascot, quote unquote. Mike Johnson says there have been times when Vince McMahon was ready to pull the trigger and then something happens behind the scenes. Just by the way Braun Strowman carries himself, or maybe he's a little late, or just at times that he's his own worst enemy with how he presents himself, and Vince takes a step backwards. I just think he's at a point now where Vince sees him as a walking mascot for the company more than he sees him as a top guy. So he's kind of like a modern day 9/11 for ECW versus being seen as a franchise player for the company. End quote. Braun Strowman, no matter what they were doing with him, is not a franchise guy. Braun Strowman wasn't a franchise guy, was never a franchise guy, will never be a franchise guy. Roman Reigns will never be a franchise guy, because if he was, people would be tuning in to watch that franchise guy. They don't care. So the fact that you continue to push, what does that say about you? You never learn your lessons. Same thing with Braun Strowman. He was never going to be a franchise guy. I was on the Braun Strowman train. I seen him as something good, something exciting. You missed the boat. At one point, I wanted to see him beat Brock Lesnar. You didn't do it for whatever reason. After that, that ship sailed. I never wanted to see it again. I see him nothing more than an oversized giant novelty act on Monday Night Raw. Therefore, if you're wondering why Braun Strowman seemed to get so close to the main event only to end up in matches like the Andrade the Giant Memorial Battle Royal with fucking Saturday Night Live goofs, then there is your reason. But he's going to get the United States Championship. No doubt in my mind that they're going to feed Samoa Joe, which I'm interested in seeing. Samoa Joe versus Braun Strowman for the United States Championship. Should be fun. Should be brutal. They let these guys go out there and play their roles as fucking Samoan submission machine and giant that's going to destroy anything in his path. Let them go out there and have a fun match. We might be surprised. And I know Samoa Joe's going to drop that title to Braun Strowman anyway. Maybe that catapults Joe into the main event. Because on Monday Night Raw, there are no major heels for the Universal Championship. Joe, if they want to get behind him, fits that bill perfectly. I doubt that's going to happen. We'll see what happens. But Braun Strowman, hey, a nice consolation prize after everything here will be the United States Championship. And then the next portion of this chapter is who's going to take the title off of Braun Strowman. That's another WWE story that they could have fun with. Whoever beats the Giant for the United States Championship could be a made man. We'll see what happens. I doubt they're going to go that far or put as much creativity into it. But it's there if they want to visit it. I doubt they'll do anything about it. Lio Rush has backstage heat. Speaking of backstage heat, the Wrestling Observer newsletter noted that Lio Rush wasn't used on Raw this week at all. He even sat backstage as Bobby Lashley took part in a dark match. Good. I didn't even realize that Bobby Lashley wasn't on the show. That's how much I care about Bobby fucking Lashley. Trashly. This is due to the fact that the man of the hour, Moth, has apparently let his ego get the best of him. Now, Rush is a very confident man. He can rub people the wrong way with his confidence. Even though you have to be that way to be a star in this business. The story goes that he's made it very clear to many people backstage that he thinks he should be a top guy or the top guy on a brand and hasn't been shy about saying it. So that's the reason why Lio Rush has backstage heat. Now, I can understand why that would rub people the wrong way. You haven't been there at all. You haven't really paid your dues in WWE. And all I will say is this. This is not the first time that we've reported that Lio Rush had backstage heat. For whatever reason, he went on about Emma. When she got fired, he made that stupid tweet. He's never going to live that shit down as long as he's there because people in WWE still communicate with Emma on a weekly basis. People are still friends with Emma that are in the WWE. Who knows, she may be back in WWE this year if they have another Mae Young Classic. I know I would bring her back. She's a free agent. Maybe she goes back down to NXT. I'd love to see it. Triple H, I'm sure, would love to have her back. And that women's division in NXT could use someone like a Tenille Dashwood. But he's never going to let that go. Or they're never going to let him let go of that. And that was a stupid move. That was a young, brash, I hate that fucking word, brash, stupid thing to do. Now, yes, they did forgive him. He did apologize. But nobody ever forgets. But with Lio Rush, you know, there's one thing about being confident, and there's another thing about being humble. You know, you could be confident all you want. You go out there and you prove it, fine. But you got to do it week in and week out. Lio Rush really hasn't done anything to play that confident part and then go back and proclaim to everybody, I should be the top of a brand. What the fuck have you done to go out there and then go into the back and spew that to everybody else in the locker room? There's this thing about being humble. Stick to yourself. Go about your business. Be humble that you're even there. That you're fortunate enough to even be there. A guy like that, anyway, on Raw, when we were clamoring for guys like him to be on Raw way before he even got there. They put him in a main event role with Bobby Lashley. So now he's over here being overconfident and then really rubbing the people in the back the wrong way like that. Take a step back and be fucking humble and fortunate that you're even there in that locker room. You know? Neville never got an opportunity to be in the locker room. He walked out because he wanted to be in the locker room so badly. That's a guy who deserved to be there, and they didn't give him the opportunity to do so. And everybody else that's working to get there. You continue to fuck up and be the way that you are, you're not going to be in the locker room anymore. Be fucking humble. You're going to rub people the wrong way with this overconfidence and cockiness. You're not going to make any friends. And if they hate you, they'll look for every fucking reason to get rid of you. Who knows? Lio Rush, I'm not a fan of Lio Rush in WWE. I honestly think he should go back to 205 Live and really do what they set out to do with him on 205 Live. They took him off the brand, and now 205 Live could use someone like that, especially against a Tony Nese and an Oni Lorcan over there and a Humberto Carrillo. Put him back on 205 Live. If they're not going to use Bobby Lashley like they used to, put him back on 205 Live. Speaking of not being used, Dana Brooke. We are very fortunate that Dana Brooke is not being used. Apparently, I don't know if you guys heard about this story. Dana Brooke reacted to Sam Roberts burying her on commentary. Now, Dana Brooke recently wrestled against Tamina Snuka. I know. Who the fuck was watching that match? I actually did. I paid no attention to what was going on in the ring because it was fucking terrible. I was listening to Sam Roberts do commentary. Not play-by-play, but color commentary. Now, you can watch it on the network if you want, or you could go look at, I believe, I don't know if it's on Sam Roberts' Instagram page, or WWE's Instagram page, or Dana Brooke's Instagram page. I don't know. It's on Instagram somewhere. But Roberts is not a full-time WWE announcer. He was invited to do a guest spot on the show, on Main Event. Now, during the Dana Brooke and Tamina match, he went off a little bit. He went off the rails, per se. He absolutely buried Dana Brooke in the process, and it didn't take long for Dana Brooke to send out her own response on the matter. She says this, and I quote, "Someone fill in Dana Brooke and buy her a fucking clue." She says this, "Sam, always thought we were cool, but damn, wondering why at WWE doesn't have you on a lot. You bury people. Not bury, bury. B-U-R-R-Y. So maybe she needs a clue and a spelling lesson. I don't know. What have you accomplished? Clearly more than Dana Brooke. Clearly more than Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke. She should buy a book and learn vocabulary. Dana Brooke should go back to the PC and wonder why she's not on TV. Because you fucking suck. That's why. Probably gave up at it, unlike me. I push through, never giving up. Maybe at Renee Young will be right when I block you and one day make you eat your words. Why don't you go eat the fucking catering that WWE provides you every Monday and Tuesday? You do that pretty well. You certainly do that better than wrestle. At least Dana Brooke used to think Sam Roberts was cool. However, things might now be much different between both of them. Here's the clue, Miss Brooke. Sam Roberts was being a heel commentator. There you go. I don't know what the big deal was. In fact, I thought Sam Roberts was better than fucking Byron Saxton. I thought he was better than Corey Graves. I thought he was great. I'd like to see him more. Now, I'm not going to go out of my way and watch Main Event to see fucking Sam Roberts' Brillo head over there. But, I mean, I thought this was fantastic. I would have done the same thing. There's no greater thing in this world than seeing someone bury Dana Brooke with truthful color commentary. I don't remember what he said, but man, I'm listening to this. I'm like, you know what? I could get behind this. This Brillo head is making a lot of sense. I love it. And then she took it to heart, but she didn't realize that he was playing a heel color commentator. She don't know the difference between babyface and heel, wrist lock and wrist watch, headlock and a head of lettuce. She can't tell the difference. Let me show you Dana Brooke fucking marks out there. Cry me your fucking tears, man. I'll fill this bottle with fucking all your tears 5 times over, man. I'll be set for the entire fucking weekend. You fucking cretins. Anyway, moving on here. Dana Brooke. Where's she during the shake-up? Shake and bake, maybe, not the shake-up. Aisle 8, honey. Aisle 8. Garlic parmesan on a chicken cutlet. You fucking clown. Moving on here. The War Raiders. Remember them? I don't. WWE might have changed the War Raiders name again. Again. WWE has changed War Machine's name to War Raiders, which we all grew to be comfortable with. They turned them into the War Raiders. That seemed to do the trick. It got everybody on the same page. War. What is it good for? So, Hanson and Rowe did very well in NXT. Then they got called up to Raw. Buried. War Raiders' name was changed to the Viking Experience. I don't know if I was watching a wrestling match or I was buying a ticket to some IMAX fucking premiere. However, that did not meet fans' expectations at all. So the next week, WWE, especially me, I tweeted Vince and Triple H and it got over 6,000 fucking likes. You know, Mr. Paul Levesque seeing that. I'm with you, Paul. I'm with you. I don't know what the fuck's going on. What the fuck? You believe this shit? I gotta deal with these fucking cretins outside. Anyway, I don't know if you heard that. Paul Levesque. Listen, I know you're with me. Your father-in-law is a fucking demented clown. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Proceed to vote and veto him out of power. Please. So, the next week, WWE changed the Viking Experience to the Viking Raiders, calling Hanson and Rowe now Ivar and Eric. The Viking Raiders was, I guess, a good compromise. Makes me wonder why the name was originally changed to fucking begin with, because it came out that war had nothing to do with it. It was just a case that Vince wanted to change it. Why did he want to change it? Because it sounded good in NXT, and we can't have something in NXT be better than what we do on the main roster. He changed it for the sake of changing it because Vince kills and Triple H creates. However, we had a recent poll, a fan council that was sent out, and the war, or the Viking Raiders, I keep calling them War Raiders because that's what I want to call them. The Viking Raiders looks like they had their name changed again. The survey asked people to pick their favorite superstars, and the Viking Raiders were listed on this fan council as the Viking Warriors. This could have been an oversight or an instance of the right hand not knowing what the left is doing. It is still rather interesting. For what it's worth, WWE's official profile for Eric and Ivar still lists them as the Viking Raiders. They are also still NXT Tag Team Champions, in case you were wondering about that, because fuck Raw and fuck NXT. Vince would never allow them to come on Raw with the NXT Tag Team titles. Meanwhile, we watched NXT this past week, and they were still the War Raiders against the Street Profits on NXT TV. They were still Hanson and Rowe, the War Raiders, on NXT TV. So there you go. So it looks like it could be a false alarm, but you never know. We'll find out on Monday when Mike Rome is announcing the War Raiders, and we hear the Viking Warriors being announced on Monday Night Raw. This may be their gimmick. Never mind the fucking Viking theme. This could be their gimmick. A meme. Every week, they'll have their name changed. What's it going to be next week? Tune in to find out. Absolutely pathetic that these guys had their name changed again, possibly again. Why their name was changed to begin with, I don't even know. Vince kills, Triple H creates. That is the simplest way for me to put it. I don't understand why, and it shows you, A, Vince doesn't give a fuck about NXT. There is another world down in Orlando that WWE does not give a shit about at all. They're signing the checks, they're paying these guys, and they don't care. And believe me, I don't give a fuck who you are or what you do to combat what I'm saying. I stand by this. I'll take it to the fucking grave. Vince McMahon does not want to see anything that someone else is creating outshine what he's doing. And when he gets an opportunity to change it, he will, to make himself look good and everybody else that's doing right look bad in NXT. I stand by that. I'll take it to my fucking grave. No way. Absolutely no way. Moving on here, man. I want to go over the Raw ratings again. By the way, it was 2.6, 2.2, and 2.1 for Monday Night Raw. This episode was among the least watched Monday Night Raw shows in history. Just to compare, last week's show was a 2.6. So there you go. Now, there was chaos backstage during Monday Night. What else is new? Vince McMahon's middle name is fucking Chaos. You've heard the stories about late script changes and the show being rewritten during the fucking live broadcast. But this was another week of backstage chaos in WWE Creative. Bryan Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer Live tweeted out that the script was not finished until 9 minutes before they went on the air. Now, people were saying it was 15. I mentioned 45 to a half an hour on my Monday Night Raw podcast. Either way you look at it, it's another example of how crazy things get backstage, and this is why plans change so much without explanation and why the shows suffer as far as quality goes on the USA Network. Now, Cesaro, believe it or not, was not originally supposed to move to Raw, but the decision was made to have him switch brands at some point during the last 48 hours the prior weekend. The triple threat matches that were announced in the opening segment were announced on WWE.com. What made this segment weird was that when Seth Rollins came out, he made a mention of Brock Lesnar without any idea. He mentioned Brock Lesnar getting a rematch. He didn't have any idea about the triple threat matches that were happening to determine his opponent at Money in the Bank. The matches came across like the matches were made on the spot, and Rollins didn't know what was going on because he mentioned Brock Lesnar, and if he was going to get a number one contender match, and everything that was mentioned on WWE.com was ignored. Everybody was filled in if you're on social media, on .com. Michael Cole mentioned it on commentary. How would you feel if you're the fucking talent going out there and you got a pay-per-view title match coming up and you don't know how the show is going to determine your fucking challenger? But Michael Cole knows, Triple H knows, .com knows, the fans know if they're paying attention on social media. You don't know. You don't know. It made Seth Rollins look like a blithering fucking clown on Monday Night Raw. Another change was made to Ricochet, losing to Bobby Roode, or Robert Roode. Dave Meltzer noted on Wrestling Observer Radio that there was a directive that said Ricochet and Aleister Black would be kept strong, and they were not supposed to lose any matches on the main roster for the foreseeable future. That changed on Monday when McMahon decided to have Robert Roode beat him. Again, this could have been avoided. If there was an initiative to have Ricochet win, maybe he should have went against Jinder Mahal or somebody that is irrelevant. But instead, they put him in a match with Robert Roode, and he loses. I guess that overseer, that script overseer that they're hiring, that position, to look for all the plot holes and the loopholes, that position that they want to fill to work next to Vince McMahon, is sorely needed. Because if that was a situation in which they knew what they were doing, none of this would have ever happened. But the script wasn't finalized until 9 minutes? I said this on Monday. How is this possible? I don't get it. I really don't. I would love if someone in WWE is listening to me to reach out to me on DM to fill me in on how the fuck that is even possible. 9 minutes? What was on that show that you needed 9 minutes before live to finish that script? I don't get it. It's like every other week. Nothing on that show was different in any way. Recycle the triple threat matches. How many times have we seen that fucking shtick over and over again in the last 12 to 18 months? That's not the first time you did that fucking gimmick. Which, by the way, is lame. What was different? I just don't understand what was different about that show. The show was booked so simplistically that I'm looking at this 9 minutes until it was finished before it went live. And I'm trying to figure out where the confusion is. This is the most talented roster that you have ever, as far as sheer athleticism and talent go. And you're failing to write a fucking script until 9 minutes before the show goes live. You should be fucking ashamed of yourselves. Either that or Vince McMahon needs to fucking just drop dead today. Go away. That's ridiculous. I don't know what the big deal is, even if it is Vince McMahon's doing. What is so fucking bad that he's got to sit there and alter the entire fucking script to his liking? I don't understand why this is such a difficult task. I would understand if this show was booked like a fucking major 6-7 hour pay-per-view, but it's fucking 3 hours of Raw. There's nothing as far as matches go on that show that should even be close to this. You have all week. Don't these shows have separate writing teams? The writers certainly don't go on the fucking road during the house shows. They go right back to Stamford, Connecticut. You should be in that office on Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon, writing for the next week. But then you got the story about Road Dogg, who says that we sit there all week, and then the script gets changed last minute, and everything that we put into the week was fucking wasted. Fuck out of here, man. What a disgrace. What an absolute disgrace this company is. I really don't get it. They should completely be ashamed of themselves. Audible. audibletrial.com/offthescript. What you should not be ashamed of is the fact that you're getting something for free just for listening to Off the Script, man. Audible is giving you guys 30 days free of their service, including one free audiobook of your choice. All you have to do is the following. Download the app on iPhone and Android devices. Whichever device you got, download it. It's free. Go to audibletrial.com/offthescript. Go through the sign-up process. You will not be billed, and you got 30 days free of their service. After that, you're going to get over 200,000 choices to choose from, a lot of which are sports and wrestling related. You're going to choose your audiobook, and then you're going to get an audiobook for free. Yes, F-R-E-E. So 30 days free and a free audiobook, man. That sounds like a good deal to me. And here's the best part. If you feel that Audible is not for you, you can cancel at any time, and that is within the 30 days. You can cancel at any time. You will not be billed, and you get to keep your audiobook for free. It's a great way to support the show. They've been with me for over 2 years now. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Support Audible, support Off the Script, and get a free audiobook simply for listening to this weekend's Off the Script. All right, man, I saved the best for last because that's what I do. Talk about this Bray Wyatt situation, man. I went back and I watched the Firefly Funhouse, and I enjoyed it every single time, more and more and more. I really did. You got to pick up on everything that Bray Wyatt does, and I said this on Monday, man, and I stand behind this 1,000%. You're going to take Wyndham Rotunda in this role, okay? A lot of people are claiming that they should move on from the Bray Wyatt situation. They should have completely repackaged everything that was Bray Wyatt. But I'm not really in that camp. I'm with the Bray Wyatt name. I'm with the whole Bray Wyatt entity. I'm glad that he's still going by Bray Wyatt. By the way, he looks fantastic. Obviously, he is taking this seriously, and WWE is taking him seriously. He looks in the best shape I've ever seen him, period. He looks phenomenal, and I'm fucking proud of him, man. I've been a fan of Bray Wyatt for a very, very long time. If you watch this gimmick, and if you watch the Firefly Funhouse, I got everything that you need to know as far as who came up with the concept, who helped him, where they want to go with it, how it was almost killed off before it even got up off the ground. If you go back and watch the Firefly Funhouse, man, there was certain things that you could have picked up on. The gloves, by the way, which was clue number one, right in your face. It said hurt, and then it said heal. And it's as if his gloves were talking to him. He covered his face, and it went all blurry for a second, which was very reminiscent of the old Bray Wyatt. And then later on, he put the hurt glove by his ear, and you heard some whispering. So clearly he's got this bipolar, schizophrenic type deal going on. Whether he's the good angel or the bad angel, he's going to have voices talking to him, which right out of the gate, for a gimmick like this that is catered to a children's talk show host, I think is fucking phenomenal. And then, by the way, when the bad voices were in his ear, he took the chainsaw and he sawed his old self in half. And then while he was doing that, he was laughing. He backed away. Chainsaw is revved up. He's laughing. That very ominous, very familiar Bray Wyatt laugh. He even dipped into the old Bray Wyatt, like, tone of voice and accent. I'm like, holy shit. I picked up on that. And this entire gimmick is, right now, something that we did not anticipate at all. We were all sitting here booking Bray Wyatt coming back with a new Wyatt family, or possibly Sister Abigail. We all thought that these puppets were leading to Sister Abigail now finally being a part of the Bray Wyatt gimmick, but a little bit more demonic. That was the idea that I pitched. But seeing this just made me open up my eyes just a little bit more as far as what we really need in professional wrestling. This shit garnered so much attention that it was the #1 trending thing in WWE all week as far as views and interest. You go to the YouTube channel, this was by far and away the most viewed thing on their YouTube channel. I loved it. Now, the one thing that I was thinking about while watching all of this and dissecting this Firefly Funhouse, by the way, yes, I know the buzzard, Mercy the Buzzard, was actually named after Waylon Mercy back in the early 90s of WWE. By the way, a character that I actually went back to go research and watch film and video on. That gimmick, and I mean this wholeheartedly, that gimmick of Waylon Mercy was in the wrong place at the wrong time. That gimmick was way too advanced for what WWE was doing for that time period. Well ahead of its time. So, I'm sorry to see that that gimmick was fucking killed off. Waylon Mercy was fucking great. As far as the vibe that he gave out, that could have been something incredibly special. A huge missed opportunity as far as WWE goes. And, you know, you look at Bray Wyatt and the influence that he took from the old Waylon Mercy character for his old Bray Wyatt gimmick, and the things that he tried to make different about it, man. That is a great homage. That WWE, again, they not only failed with Waylon Mercy, but they failed on it with Bray Wyatt. How he came up and everybody was so excited. It was fresh. It was new. This demonic character, this cult leader, just completely ruined. All they had to do was book him in vain of any other character that they had in their past and have fun with it. And Bray Wyatt is a creative guy that it could have opened Pandora's box, so to say, as far as WWE creativity, and they did not want to be adventurous with it. And I honestly think people right now are wanting to be adventurous with characters. They want to be invested in a fucking character. And as far as I see with Bray Wyatt, it really made me think that, and believe me, I love the gimmicks. I love the fucking indie work rate. I love 5-star matches. I love my Garganos, and I love my Champions, and I love my Ricochets, and I love my Dreams and my Adam Coles. But I know when you look at those guys, they don't look the part. I understand where everyone's coming from, but that doesn't mean you should automatically shun them. That is the future of the business. That is the future of the WWE. There is a niche for that in the WWE. But all those guys, you know, how long could they realistically last doing that? Even the greats had to change and evolve over time. Daniel Bryan knew his time was coming to an end as a glorified underdog babyface battling from behind. He heard it from the crowd reaction. They weren't the same as they were 4 years ago. They weren't the same on the night that he announced he was coming back out of retirement for 4 years. Ever since that day, they got quieter and quieter and quieter. So he went back to the drawing board and he figured out, what do I got to do to reinvent myself and make myself feel more like an entity that people want to believe in? Or in this case, see them or have them pay money to see me get my ass kicked. Turned into the biggest heel on the main roster in WWE. Unbelievable work. Slight change to his character. Took what he pretty much feels in real life, applied it to his gimmick, and was obnoxious and overbearing with it. And that comes across incredibly well on TV. With Bray Wyatt here, it is a character taken out of the old school, molded into the new school. And I honestly feel, outside of all the indie darlings that we see that are great with the 5-star matches and the work rates and a match like Gargano and Cole at TakeOver New York, I also feel like there is a big part of why people are leaving WWE and not investing their time into the product anymore. And I mean leaving as far as fans, leaving the product and not being interested in it anymore. There's nothing for them to invest their time in. There's nothing for them to really grab onto and have them sit there and suspend all this belief. You know, wrestling is supposed to be fun. Wrestling is supposed to be another world which you could go to escape, you know, and the most outlandish and the most weird and bizarre become a reality to you. You want to fucking believe just as much as you believe in the girl next door wanting to fucking come over and blow you at the end of the night, you know? You do everything right for this woman. You do everything right for this girl. You take her out for nice dinners, and you buy her flowers, and you want to believe that you're doing the right thing. You want to believe that she's going to come over and she's going to spend time with you and she's going to thank you in certain ways. WWE has not thanked us in any way. We want to sit there and we want to believe in what these characters are trying to portray to us. And Bray Wyatt is doing that. I honestly feel like now is the time, more than ever, that on top of all the work rate and the indie talent, we need to start seeing characters like a Bray Wyatt, like a Waylon Mercy, like a Ted DiBiase, guys like that, come back into this era and really make us fucking believe. There's no fun in professional wrestling anymore. And the reason why this thing took off the way it did and people are so fucking hyped for it, normally when we're hyped for this type of thing in WWE, we're ultimately disappointed in the end. But the reason why we're so hyped about it is because, and I think this is definitely a major part of it, it brought us back to what we felt when we were watching this product back when we were younger. There was a character on our screen that brought us back to our younger versions, our younger self, and it was very similar to what we fell in love with in the first place. Now we're older, and we see the potential there. We want to believe. That inner child will never leave us. That inner child about pro wrestling is never going to go anywhere. Bray Wyatt could be the one that comes out and really signals a start for what WWE needs to do. The product needs to be fun. The product needs to be so fucking out there, brash, and pushing the envelope with characters like this that we want to see what they're going to do. We want to see what they're going to say. We want to see how they're going to progress on TV. I guarantee you, everybody watching me right now, the one thing you're looking forward to is the next installment of the fucking Firefly Funhouse. That's a great fucking deal. That's a great thing. How many times during the last 18 months, 24 months on Monday Night Raw, could you honestly say, be truthful with yourself? How many times over the last 2 years on this show could you honestly say to yourself, look yourself in the mirror and say, I can't wait to watch Monday Night Raw? Might not be for the entirety of the 3 hours, but I know what I'm going for and I'm looking for on Monday night. I'm looking for the next installment of Firefly Funhouse. We need characters back in WWE that really bring out our inner child. Bray Wyatt is doing that with this new gimmick. Now, where did it come from? WWE possibly recycled a rejected pitch for Bray Wyatt's new character. Mike Johnson discussed Bray Wyatt's new gimmick on PW Insider Elite Audio when he said the idea behind Wyatt taking a chainsaw to a cardboard cutout might have been lifted from a rejected pitch from years ago. He says, and I quote, in a scene that was literally taken from a pitch that Cliff Compton did and was turned down by WWE. They showed a cardboard cutout of Bray Wyatt's old character. And then he took a chainsaw to it and cut the head off of the cardboard cutout. This is something that Cliff Compton did in a pitch video where he chainsawed the head off of John Cena, and WWE was like, we can't do that. Well, many years later, I guess they can. End quote. Everybody was blown away by the new Bray Wyatt character in more ways than one. There was a lot to take in, from the creepy happiness of the segments to the underlying dark nature of everything that he said. WWE reportedly enlisted, I should say, Hollywood, The Undertaker, and Triple H to assist in the Firefly Funhouse segments. Brad Shepard noted on the Oh You Didn't Know podcast that WWE brought in some heavy hitters to assist in the Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse vignettes. There is more on the way as well, so we could be in for a wild couple of weeks with Bray Wyatt. Brad Shepard says, and I quote, I'm actually told they've already created some crazy segments with input from Triple H, The Undertaker, and Jason Jordan. So everything that you've seen and will continue to see is Triple H, which I don't know who came up with the gimmick originally. I don't know. That's what I'm really wondering. If this is a new initiative from some of the new producers or agents, like an Abyss. You know, he's fucked up in the head. Who knows if something like this could have ultimately came from him. A Sanjay Dutt, a Jeff Jarrett, a Bruce Pritchard. I would be very curious to know how much input anybody else had, if they had any input at all. How much input did Vince McMahon have on this thing? That's what I would love to know. Maybe Vince McMahon didn't have any input at all. Maybe this is Triple H's baby, and he got The Undertaker to help assist with this because The Undertaker's dark and brooding, and The Undertaker's the greatest character that was ever created in WWE. Having input from him for all the years that he played that character to influence Bray Wyatt here? Man, if that's not a seal of approval, I don't know what the fuck is. But I wonder if this could possibly be the brainchild of Triple H. And maybe this is his way of stamping his own way onto the main roster as far as this type of deal, creativity. Or a part of creative, or getting some more on his list of things to do before he eventually takes more. I don't know. This is very interesting to me. So, Brad Shepard also said Jason Baker. He does special effects for Hollywood. He's worked on Jack Reacher and some other things. He helped direct the vignettes with Bray Wyatt, and he built all the puppets. Mercy, the buzzard, and the doll, the woman doll. I don't know her name. I forgot her. It's in my notes somewhere, but yeah, there was also a rabbit in the Firefly Funhouse logo. I don't know if that's a character we'll see in the future, played by or voiced by somebody, or maybe it was just there because it was Easter. I don't know. Not only was The Undertaker reportedly involved in Bray Wyatt's new gimmick, but Jason Baker is an incredibly good choice as well for all his special effects and his work with the puppets. You can see his influence as the Firefly Funhouse totally looked different from anything else on WWE TV. I told you guys about Mercy the Buzzard, follow the Buzzards. This was an ode, a huge ode to Waylon Mercy, a character that was ahead of its time in a lot of ways, like I mentioned. Completely missed opportunity by WWE. You could go back and watch Waylon Mercy gimmicks or promos, vignettes, or see his gimmick on YouTube if you guys want. Just type in Waylon Mercy. First thing that pops up is his picnic promo, man. The facial expressions that he does, that you see him smiling sadistically and then going in and out of calm and then kind of demented. It's a thing of beauty, man, and that's where Bray Wyatt got a lot of his influence. Even in this, you've seen him laugh maniacally and kind of be playful with the children and then kind of laugh out of nowhere like he's fucking demented. You don't know how talented of an individual you have to be to make that believable, man. Not everybody could play that role. So the fact that Bray Wyatt did such a great job with the old gimmick and creative let him down, which is a shame in itself, this is a new lease on life for him. They got the right guy playing this type of gimmick, man. Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda is going to kill this gimmick. Bray Wyatt's original cult leader gimmick was often an ode to Waylon Mercy, a character, like I mentioned, that was way ahead of its time. The fact that WWE named Bray Wyatt's Buzzard Mercy all but confirms one of his biggest inspirations behind his entire Eater of Worlds gimmick. Now, Wyatt has a new source of inspiration. This segment is still getting a lot of buzz. It's still being talked about. And on Monday, the one thing we're going to be looking forward to most is Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse and us dissecting even more into the mind of Bray Wyatt. Major plans for all of Bray Wyatt. At this time, it appears WWE is still, believe it or not, in the midst of a superstar shakeup. Reportedly, more moves are set to be made on Monday and Tuesday. We don't know where Bray Wyatt's going to end up. If this is going to be a heel character, this character needs to be on Monday Night Raw. Smackdown Live has way too many roster additions for a 2-hour show. We need a major heel gimmick on Monday Night Raw. If you are not going to, and I have my conspiracy theories, which we'll talk about on this weekend show with AJ Styles. Maybe WWE is not going to put Bray Wyatt on Monday Night Raw. That would still leave them with a huge heel hole. I'll talk about AJ Styles and how I think WWE could very well turn AJ Styles heel on Off the Script this weekend. If they don't, they got Bobby Roode. I don't know how likely WWE is going to get behind Bobby Roode in that role. They might look to Bray Wyatt to fill that need. And if that case, he's going to be strapped with a rocket pack and he's going to be shot right to the fucking moon. At this time, we don't know where Bray Wyatt's going to end up. Superstar shakeup is still going. We've seen Jinder Mahal and the Singh brothers get moved to SmackDown Live. The B team is also listed on the move to go to SmackDown Live. I guess because that means the Hardys are injured. Jeff Hardy apparently has an injury. And I guess they're moving the B team over there to kind of fill the tag team void. But that does nothing. That's like moving the fucking Colognes to Monday Night Raw. It does nothing. It's a waste of a fucking roster move. Wyatt was a Raw superstar before his hiatus. And it seems like the company could place him on either show. And I honestly think Raw is the best place for him. Meltzer expanded on this idea during the Wrestling Observer Live, where he explained that they don't know which brand Bray Wyatt will land on after his repackaging, seeing how his Firefly Funhouse vignette played on both main roster shows this week. He says, and I quote, "Nobody knows what brand Bray Wyatt is on until they figure him out and how they're going to use him. Yeah, he's not on the list for either brand." That's a given. WWE doesn't even know what the fuck they're doing from a hour-to-hour, minute-by-minute basis with these shows. So Bray Wyatt finding a home is not going to be known for quite some time. WWE was actually pressured by stockholders and sponsors to drop Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse gimmick right after it aired. The gimmick, Brad Shepard reported, received pressure from WWE stockholders and corporate figureheads. They wanted to ditch the Firefly Funhouse gimmick before it even had a chance to develop. Apparently, they were concerned the idea of a cult leader for children wasn't too inviting for certain stockholders and sponsors. Fuck them. Fuck them. If I am the company, yeah, these people are investing a lot of money into you. Okay? They don't even watch the fucking product. All they care about is the business that WWE is doing with Fox and Saudi Arabia. They want to see the network subscription numbers and the watch retention and all these other analytics. They should concentrate on that. The problem is exactly what I mentioned in the beginning of this fucking show. If you fucking get creative and bring some sense of this to the weekly show, people are going to be interested more. You take from NXT and apply it to the main shows. People will be interested more. They don't grasp that you do that and more people will come, the more money you make. I don't get this. You're gonna take orders from fucking faceless suits and ties who don't even know how to spell the word wrestle? You're gonna put this guy's fate in the hands of people who are busy counting their fucking money? Yeah, let's kill something off because faceless suit and tie individual A doesn't like it. Because it's demoralizing and it's not a good look to be a children cult leader. So you're ultimately telling me you want the TV shows to fucking fail. What do you exactly want on TV? Why does everybody have to be so fucking PG? Why does everybody have to toe a fucking straight and narrow line? Why does everybody have to be a fucking pussy? I am one of the more stable individuals you could ever meet. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are as well. I doubt you're a wrestling fan and watched this and took some offense to this as, oh, I can't watch this. Oh, I can't show my children because they might look at this and they might be influenced by a cult leader. Well, what exactly is Bray Wyatt going to have your children go out and do? Is he going to zombify them to a point where they're going to go slit their wrist in the fucking local bathroom and bleed out to death? Are they going to go drink arsenic and stand behind their friends as they're dropping like flies one after the other? They're going to join some fucking gang and start going around the neighborhood vandalizing mailboxes? What the fuck are they going to do? This is a pro wrestling show. I am here to fucking invest my time into a character. I want to see talented men like Wyndham Rotunda. I want to see him live a gimmick and be something that brought me back to what I loved about this sport when I was younger. That's exactly what he's doing. I'm invested in this character because not only do I find the man behind the fucking cardigan to be talented, I find this gimmick to be the most intriguing thing that WWE has done in months. This is something that could really bring this guy, not only his career, but the fucking show. You could bring interest to a dead show that nobody seems to find any interest in. Monday Night Raw is a chore on Monday nights for 3 hours. Their fucking concern should be making it less of a chore. And if this gimmick gets over, clearly, they're doing something right. Now, they showed the gimmick on Tuesday night. Immediately after Monday was over, the stockholders wanted to cry like bitches. But on Tuesday night, apparently, somebody got wind of it. WWE calmed somebody down, and they showed it on Tuesday night again. Meaning that if they showed it on Tuesday after complaints on Monday, then they're probably going to go with the gimmick anyway. But now I'm wondering, how much of the gimmick do they have planned? And how much of it now, since they heard complaints, do they have to tone down? We'll never know. We'll never know. This is WWE's chance to do what the fans fucking want. And if they go and listen to these fucking nameless fucking suits and ties and ruin this gimmick before we even get a chance to see it fully fucking reach its potential, there's no hope. There's no hope. Everything from this point on will be a waste of time. And there's no reason for us to get excited or get hyped up or invest our time into anything that this company does ever again, unless it's NXT. For NXT only. Brett Shepard says this, and I quote, I was told that WWE considered dropping the gimmick altogether after feedback on Tuesday morning from bigwig stockholders and sponsors voicing their opinion on it. Apparently, they didn't like the whole cult leader of children vibe. I guarantee you, you can go watch any other fucking program on any cable station and you will see much worse. You could see much worse watching fucking, any crime show. CSI, you could watch CSI and find much worse per storyline in those fucking shows than you see here on WWE. I don't understand it. I really don't get it. I was told that there were plenty of people who loved it, and we saw on Smackdown Live the vignette aired again, so it looks like WWE is moving forward with the idea. WWE listens to people who control their money. Fuck you. Fuck you. I hate these people, and this is why we can't have nice things. As soon as this company went public, this is the fucking mentality of these people. WWE listens to people who control their money, and that includes sponsors in a big way. Ryback, of all fucking people, commented recently that if the fans want to see a change, then that is who they need to go after. The fans need to go after the sponsors. And that's coming from fucking Ryback. Unbelievable. Finally, with this whole Bray Wyatt thing, if it got to that point, which I'm hopeful it's not going anywhere near that, WWE considered a new Wyatt family if this had to be canceled. Now, Bray Wyatt's returned to WWE with this repackaging. Obviously, the sponsors and the shareholders, the stockholders, were very concerned about it. No matter how popular it was, WWE almost pulled the plug. Bray Wyatt even commented on Twitter, you know, he mentioned something along the lines of, you know, if you can't see a ghost, you got to believe in it. You got to believe in the fact that there's an entity there. And he said that everybody didn't really pay attention to detail, you know. But no matter how popular it was, WWE pulled the plug on the entire idea the morning after the first vignette aired. Brad Shepard said on the Oh You Didn't Know podcast that the company came up with a very interesting idea during that short time when WWE thought they might have to drop the entire Firefly Funhouse gimmick because of poor sponsorship and stockholder reaction. This idea would have included a brand new plan for Wyatt and another repackaging with 2 more faces following the Buzzards. Says, and I quote, interestingly enough, just in case it was scrapped, a very initial idea was thrown around, which included putting Nikki Cross and Lars Sullivan with Bray Wyatt as part of a new Wyatt family. So it does look like they're moving forward with the idea of the Firefly Funhouse. It said that some of the stuff WWE will be doing will be interesting, fun, and creepy. End quote. This gimmick is exactly what this show needs. It's not going to make Monday Night Raw better as a whole, but it's going to plug 1 or 2 different holes that this show badly needs. We need that entertainment factor on this show. Listen, we got some great wrestling on this show in the form of a Ricochet or Bobby Roode or Seth Rollins. You know, we got guys like that. Monday Night Raw can produce great wrestling when it wants to. But there's no entertainment value on Monday Night Raw. There's nothing to keep you coming back next week and next week and next week. This show does not have a major protagonist to go against the babyface in Seth Rollins or the babyface in AJ Styles. There's no one. If Bray Wyatt could be that guy with this gimmick and dip in and out of his current self and his old self and be that heel we need, what difference does it make? What difference does it make, you know, the reaction that the shareholders or the stockholders are giving? They don't understand anything. The only thing they understand is green. They don't understand what's happening on Monday Night Raw. They don't even know Monday Night Raw exists. There's a reason why your ratings are declining 14% over the first quarter last year. Because you people kill anything that is interesting. You don't want this. You don't want that. You got to toe the line. We don't want wrestling. We want entertainment. We want comedy. We want this. We want that. You can give me something in the form of Bray Wyatt that plugs a hole or 2 on Raw, you're going in the right direction. So cut the shit. Count your fucking money. Let WWE, the people who actually want to make this show better, which are 0, make the show better, and I guarantee you everything that you feel as far as money you'll be counting more of it because more people will be watching. You gotta cater to us. Enough catering to the fucking stockholders. WWE caters 100% to the shareholders and the stockholders. Its fans mean nothing to them. It's about time we make it an even 50-fucking-50. Ridiculous. I'm excited for this game. And you know what? I'm gonna be perfectly blunt with you guys. Perfectly honest with you. When I seen it, I'm like, how much worse can this show get? Because I was in that fucking mentality of old Bray Wyatt. And then when I seen it on YouTube, and I watched, and I dissected, and I seen his mannerisms, these little subtleties, I'm like, this shit's gonna be great. This is exactly what we need. Then I went back and researched Waylon Mercy and got back into him. And figured out, look at the correlation here. You know? Look at the influence that Bray Wyatt is directly feeding off of. This is a great time for WWE to do something to generate interest. If they don't go with it, there's no hope for this company in 2019. I'm sorry. I'm getting out of here, guys. Thank you so very much. It is fucking hot in here, and my voice is gone, and I gotta do the same thing tomorrow. So we got more news, and more news, and more news. Tomorrow, we'll be talking about why Becky Two Belts is doing double duty. Also, is WWE finally going to unify the women's division or women's title? Probably not. We'll talk about it. Charlotte Flair and Andrade, are they married or engaged? Or what's going on with them? Apparently, it gets mainstream attention via TMZ. And the creative direction that WWE has planned for Money in the Bank and the ladder match happening in a couple of weeks, man. Thank you guys so very much for all your support. Hit that thumbs up. And I will see you right back here on Saturday afternoon with more Off the Script. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. You guys know the deal with JD's Elite. Link is down in the description. Go and get your t-shirt today. Harrys.com/scripts. audibletrial.com/offthescript. And if you missed any of the week's videos, link will be in that little eye that you see in the top right corner of your screen. Matt Men Podcast, go and check it out. Go and download my brother's music and buy it, purchase it, support him. If you support me on Off the Script, it should be right back to my brother as well, man. You support me, you support him. Go and buy it and get yourself an 11-minute classic for yourself and support Legionary. And Chaos Sanctuary, you'll see the video at the end of this podcast, man. Thank you guys so very much. I'm getting out of here, and I will see you all on Saturday afternoon with more Off the Script. Until then, take care. Have a great Friday, and I'll see you right back here on Saturday afternoon.
Countless minds of the innocent, from the sound of the violence of the
My friends and my brother are more talented than you.